This is a book very close to my heart. It's How to Grow Winter Vegetables by Charles Dowding. Charles Dowding is a famous author now in the UK that promotes Nordic organic method of gardening. He has personally signed the book for me, and as you see here, and I used to read this book, very close to my heart, of course. I used to read it when I was traveling on train to London and buses and everything. When I was traveling, just instead of looking out the window, doom and gloom of the London weather, I found very interesting stuff in this book. Always wanted to grow things in the winter beyond the traditional stuff that you grow, like Brussels sprouts and other things that people do. And I wanted to know how can I do it better. I don't like to leave the land idle. In the UK, people have allotment. Allotment means a piece of land that you get from the council to grow or food for your family. And it's kind of a small holding or a homestead way of life, a little farm, smaller scale farm. And you pay rent for that, minimal amount, it's not much. And you easily can earn more than what you pay for that by just growing and saving the money on this stuff. And this book is published in 2011, and I think I bought it in 2012. And the content of the book is winter's potential, a forgotten season, a winter scene, preparing for winter. Then it comes to the sowing, planting, and growing calendar, what you can grow in different months. Means many times you actually start growing things for winter, not in actually winter itself, because winter is not a season for much growth. You have to start it in August, in July, sometimes in June. And then when the plants are big enough and you have planted them, of course, they will give you the crop in the winter, in the cold season, when there is no other vegetables to grow. And what I found very interesting is all this recommendation, winter harvest, how to store your harvest actually, winter vegetables under cover. Under cover means in the greenhouse or the polytunnel. And yeah, it has all these sections that you see. And what it is, one of the most heartfelt information I found here was that it says during the late December to the early February, the plants practically stop growing. And I was noticing that myself, and I just found evidence for that by what he actually says on this. And the plants actually start to grow. The reason is the light levels are very low. Although you can provide heat, but the light level is a final condition that determines how much crop you will have, how much growth the plants will put. So in December up to January, the plants are at the lowest growth level ever, if any growth. The book is in the 232 pages. It is sold in the UK by Green Books, or you can find it in the YouTube, in the ABE Books or Amazon, other websites, secondhand even. Originally it was $14.95. You can buy it probably cheaper. I bought it actually cheaper than this price, probably about £8 or something. You can buy it cheaper, secondhand or firsthand even. It's a very good book. I must say the wealth of information in it, and how you can do. For example, of course, you cannot grow summer squash, winter squash in the winter. But when you store them, you can use them, and that's what I have done. I will show you. Okay, this is some of the summer squash. This one is summer squash, and it's very hardy. Scallop squash, we may call it. And some winter squash. This one is also again summer squash. This is a butternut squash, and all kinds of. I have even a marrow at this time of the year, and this is also a marrow courgette, which has grown to be big enough to be a marrow. This is a Lebanese one. This is a stripy one, I think from Italy they are, and this is I think this is a Turk turban. I have it more than 1 year now. So these are the things that you can grow in the winter. And you grow in the summer, of course, and store them for the winter use. But if you have sown something earlier in the month, you can start to use them, harvest them during the cold months of the winter. And also during the winter, at this time of the year, January, December, you can actually grow other things, broad beans, you know that already. Garlics you can plant. and anything that is called horse. What I noticed is the good list of the companies that you can actually go and buy the good seeds in the UK, of course. I don't know, in the United States you can access these publications. And one of the best places that I found was this CN Seeds here, and extremely wide range. I must say that 10 times more seed than any other place, and the price is almost 2/3 of the anywhere else that you can find. And they actually provide for the commercial use, but they have also a small amount of sale to the to the retail, as a retail to the normal people. You can find about the other things also, where to source them. And winter is a good time for starting onions. You can start your sweet peas, flowers. It's very, very nice fragrance flowers that people grow in Britain mostly. I don't know what it is in America. Or then after winter also, you can let some of the plants to actually go to seed, like this lettuce here. Keep the seeds for your own, because the seeds that you actually grow yourself, they're fresh. They have more viability, the vitality in them, and they grow better and quicker, and they give a better crop. You can grow peas, pea shoots. In pea shoots, even in home, you can do it. Buy cheap peas, green peas, and just use them. This is the time of the year that you can start to mulch your land, as Charles Dowding is showing. That's what I do. I do mulch with my own compost or manure, or I use what is available as leaf mold. Very good, informative book. It's inspiring. When you read it, you want to go out and do the actual stuff. And what is better than this? Cheap and cheerful. As I told, this is 231 pages of information.